to South Saskatchewan. It's been a wonderful week here in Saskatoon for the Tim Hortons Brier.
Wow.
It's deja vu for the boys from the Sioux. Brad Jacobs and company are seeing an eerie set of circumstances similar to last year's Brier. 2-3 in London, ended up just missing a tiebreaker. Now in Saskatoon, Jacobs' record, he was 2-3 once again. He's close to a tiebreaker, he's close to the playoffs. Can Jacobs correct the mistakes of a year ago? Or will Manitoba bring a halt to the Northern Ontario dream? Draw 16, the Brier, next. I always love this day. It's the final day of round robin, and we'll see what bridges can be built to the playoffs. It all started this morning with draw 15, and it featured the Northwest Territories Yukon and Jamie Cooey, and he manages to keep himself alive as he beats New Brunswick and ends the hopes of the team from Moncton with a 9-6 win. Jamie Cooey, could he be in the playoffs with his brother Kevin, the 2010 champion? He still has a chance. Elsewhere on the ice, PEI scored 5 in the second, but they still lost 10-8 to Quebec. Ontario has clinched a spot in the 1-2 game. They beat Nova Scotia 8-3. And Manitoba, they continue to roll along now with a 9-3 win over Saskatchewan. So here are the teams still in playoff contention. Ontario, we know, 1-2 game. Alberta will play coming off that loss last night to Manitoba. Manitoba, the team from Brandon, looking very good. Northwest Territories, they'll wind it up tonight. Northern Ontario, British Columbia. The potential is there for some tiebreakers. As on this Thursday afternoon, we say hello, Canada, and welcome again to our continuing coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier. Linda and Russ alongside. Hard to believe it's the same Manitoba team that we showed you on the opening draw last Saturday afternoon. Rob Fowler looking very nervous, said so. And then he talked with his dad, and to use the cliche, started to play within himself, and they are looking very good.
That's all it took, wasn't it? Just Papa's words.
Yeah.
He really does look confident. The whole team looks confident. They play a confident strategy. Rob loves rocks in play. Doesn't matter who's got a hammer. He loves to bail out with his favorite shot. He's part of the former Second Stones Union, so they played a lot of these high, hard ones, and that's what Rob's so good at. No better example than here. You can't see more than a half an inch of this rock. Puts the broom down, runs the other end, throws a bullet, picks it clean.
That was last night against Alberta in one of the best games that we've seen in a long time. When you talk about Northern Ontario, this is the Tim Hortons Brier, and they started off well, but then came this little hole in the middle of the donut.
Well, started very well. Their experience showed, and yes, it was 4 losses in a row. They got themselves into more than a tin bit of trouble by playing too many rocks in play. Brad Jacobs and this team are normally very strong at hitting. There's nothing wrong with that, but there was so many rocks in play. It was so complicated. Brad had to try and save with draws. He did that quite well, but still, it was impossible to get out of all the trouble they were in. Now, they've got it back together, so I think that experience will come back on this last day of round robin play.
A tin bit of trouble. We're going to watch some wonderful crullers out here when we come back to Saskatoon. Little stumble coming out of the blocks for DJ Harden. Brian on the run back, and he gets it. Here they go. Now they need to touch this back. Need to move that redstone far enough. Bump it and sit in time. Come on. Oh, they got it. What a shot.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Roll Up the Rim to Win. It's time for Tim's. The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association. By M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. And by Sponge Towels, paper towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Thursday afternoon, draw 16. Here are the games on the ice. Disappointing week for Newfoundland Labrador Brad Gushue as he winds it up against Mike Goody. It is must win for Jim Cotter out of BC. He's at 5 losses, cannot afford a 6th. Our featured game is on sheet C, and that's Northern Ontario, Manitoba. And Nova Scotia can play giant killer if they can beat Alberta, as Alberta tries to rebound. Kevin Cooey coming off the loss to Manitoba last night. Time to meet the teams now. It's brought to you by Ford. Drive one.
Hi, I'm Brad Jacobs, skip of Team Northern Ontario. Our lead is Scott Seabrook. Our second is Ryan Harnden. Our third is EJ Harnden, and we curl out of Sioux Curlers Association in Sault Ste. Marie.
Hi, I'm Rob Fowler, skip from Team Manitoba. Our lead is Derek Samagalski. Our second is Richard Daniel. Our third is Alan Lyburn, and we curl out of the Brandon Curling Club in Brandon, Manitoba.
Manitoba has won the draw to the button, so they will have the last rock. They'll have the hammer here in the first, playing yellow. Northern Ontario, the red. To get us underway, Scott Seabrook.
You can see that Scott is down in the numbers, and you're going to see that Derek is at the top. The interesting thing about these stats as we watch them over the course of the week is Scott actually started very well. He's one of those players on a little bit of a downward slide. The funny thing is his low numbers in the last 3 games have not impacted the win column because they actually have played better as a team. So you just never know how those stats are going to fall out.
Center line top 4. And no hesitation here from Rob Fowler, huh? He was going to go up with the corner, Russ.
Yeah, exactly. There's no fear in this young guy. He likes rocks and play, maybe too many once in a while, but they're such a good hitting team. He's not afraid to wait a little while before he bails out.
Yep, you gotta go for line. Yep,
This is also how you score points in an event like this.
Hard boys.
It's nice when you have a lead that is playing as well as Derek. He's posting those huge numbers. That means in most of the time you get the corner guards in place, you get the come-arounds in position. Now here's the difference of these two teams. For Northern Ontario, I think they should start a little open early, like that one in the top 4. Wait a little longer, and then play the come-arounds with the skip who has the draw weight. Interestingly enough, only 2 skips in this event have a draw percentage over 80. One is Glenn Howard at 87, and the other is Brad Jacobs at 81.
Easy, Ryan.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nicely positioned stone. And so I think a little bit of the opposite is true for Manitoba. They can be aggressive early in the end because they have gotten those stones into the right place, but they still have to be aware, leave room for the skip to have a hit and roll. There have been those moments when Rob Fowler has been so aggressive he hasn't had much room to play the hits, and it really is his best shot.
7. Just let it curl and die. Coming down. It's here, relax.
Now with Derek Samagalski, they'll go around and put it on the corner. Interesting, I thought, what Linda said, Russ, about the only 2 skips with draws in the 80s in terms of percentage. Is that a direct reflection then of the ice this week? 2
things, I think, Vic. Definitely the ice. It was a little tricky early, and all the teams were struggling getting the rocks into the right spots. They're different paths, different speeds, and that was part of it. But also, I think it's the big finish to these rocks. There's so much curl that there's a lot more rocks in play, and if there's more rocks in play, the draws become tougher.
Yep. Room. Line's great. Yep. Line's fine. Room.
Weight's good. Good weight.
Freeze it. Room. Oh, got a curl. Weight's perfect. Yep.
I think you give a little advantage on brushing to this Northern Ontario team, definitely in technique and power.
Go.
They can wait a little longer, wait for that break to happen, and then pull the rock in those last few seconds when you get the curl.
Pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Just down on it early.
It sure it gives you lots of ice. Need more than that, eh?
I think I need more? I think that's all right.
Little curl.
Just get down on it early.
And this is where it's a bit of a guess. There's a lot of pebble here right now, first end. Later in the game, that's too much ice, but right now they're not sure. It could go.
Whoa.
Trying to come through the hole and get at shot rock.
Great try.
Just a little aggressive on the sweep. Good throw.
Okay. Hi. Bit of hair heavy.
Yeah, add the out turn to it. Yeah, I like that.
That'd be right on.
Probably going to be a bit slower, yeah.
I think it's going to be a
That's
lot.
not a bad call either, just with like normal weight. Like, if you come this way, you got to be perfect. Otherwise,
Actually, you know what? Throw firm.
I don't mind that.
I like that too.
It's 3/4.
Firm.
First thought was to try and come through the hole and play the draw. Then they're back to what is their strength or has been in the past, and that's playing the run back.
And that draw with the fresh pebble, they're just not sure where to put the broom. It wasn't a big hole, so this is probably the easier of the two. Oh, very nice. Sticks both in the rings.
Ryan Harnden throwing the second stones.
Like just draw? Well, you could play this too. Play that for now. Solid, nice.
Okay.
Keep it up just a bit.
It's good. Yep.
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 Hard.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yep.
Hard.
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 Whoa. Good shot.
Bangs it on the nose, was looking for the roll, possibly behind those staggered guards on the left.
Figured just stay away from the corner for a shot or two. Control.
I did say that EJ's last two games have been his best, 91 and 90%.
Easy.
A good time of the week to be doing it.
Two Harndens, of course, on this team. The name Harnden familiar for Northern Ontario curling fans. Ryan and EJ at third. So we say hello to Brian Mudryk. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Vic. Thank you very much. This team from Northern Alberta, one of the most elite in the country, and they've been working very hard to get better. It wasn't too long ago, 2010, Halifax made that 1-2 game, ended up winning the bronze medal. They're always trying to improve. Great case in point, EJ Harnden. If you watch EJ over the last few Briers in his delivery, he kind of swings that back leg out kind of like a rudder. Well, he wanted to improve on that and have a more stable delivery. So what did he do? He went to Alberta. He worked with Paul Webster. They did some training in the hack to make sure he had a more stable delivery. We're going to have a look at it here right away. Well, it's kind of really paid off when it comes to the stats. Back in 2010, he was second overall amongst thirds, 85%. 2011, 81%. Tied for fourth overall. And this year, Linda, as mentioned, coming in 83%. And he feels he's a more consistent player with that delivery.
Well, I was at that camp, and actually it was after the camp had finished that Paul and EJ went out on the ice, and I stayed around and watched, and it was trying to get the sliding foot forward rather than crossing the body and keeping the hip square coming out. And he worked so hard when everybody else had gone home, and I think it's tremendous to see that development.
That weight was close, eh?
Yeah.
So before, when he came forward, that sliding foot wanted to go to our left, his right, and the hips wanted to swing around with that trailing leg really going. He was throwing off the side of his shoulder, and it was really tough for him and the skip to see the consistent release. It's much straighter now.
Speaking of straighter, they just can't get them to climb across this line. Both skips taking a shade too much ice for that hit and roll.
Not bad, because now we could.
Much better than rolling out, though.
You can have the double, which is fine.
If you just roll the hair, would be real nice, eh?
Yeah, it would be.
No, it's fine, Brad.
Control?
Yep. 2 feet deeper in the house, you have the shot made. Could have maybe just cut your ice down just a sliver.
Well, it's further to your point, so they've realized it too.
Yep. Brad doesn't really want to roll buried here, even though that looks like the right shot, because it's so high in the rings with this much curl. You might see Rob Fowler go right around that. Quite content to hit and stay.
Control, a little soft. Yep. Soft. Yep. Hard line. Gotta go.
It's inside the line. This is where it will go.
Right on.
Trying to hold it now, trying to just get a piece of the stone. And they will, and now the shooter will roll, maybe come back. No, not this one. We've seen that a number of times. The stones, Russ, you were saying, are so sharp that they spin back on themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did say that is the shot that Brad is struggling with. Second ranked in draws and the bottom of the skips and hits, and it's normally his shot. And you just have to wonder if he's overthinking them, babying them maybe a little bit. Just throw the rock.
Go maybe just a hair more. Yeah.
Rob Fowler making his way down in post-game news conference and comments to the media last night after that tremendous win over Alberta. Rob Fowler saying that he thought the team was finally playing like the team that won the Manitoba Championship. They all 4 members were on the same page. And you know, when we think about the Manitoba Championship and the people they beat, and Jeff Stoughton, defending champion, leading money winner Mike McEwen, as he said, we flew under the radar. And he's done a little bit of the same this week, too.
Looks the same, exactly the same.
Just 5.
This is the time you want to be hot right now.
7. Whoa. Never. Never. Whoa, guys. Whoa. Never. Whoa, Rich. Whoa. Line's important here, guys. Whoa.
Weight's good.
Looks heavy.
Weight's good. We're not.
Now it'll go.
Never touch it.
Just
never
6.
touch
Just
it.
6.
Never.
Just 6.
Never.
Just 6.
Never.
Good shot.
6.
Shot, Robbie. Good shot, Robbie.
That's just a perfect curling shot. Over buried and kept it high in front of the tee line.
Rob. Thanks. It's a great spot.
Right there. The line's good. Top of the hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had. I think that's good. He was a little
Should
tight.
be a hair slower down here.
What's that?
Should be a hair slower.
Yeah. What?
That's a little trick too, Vic. You put the broom in the same spot as Rob did, and then you say he was a little tight, just so that he hears it.
I'm sure Rob will have a close look at this one as well.
That's in a great spot.
So the final stone for Northern Ontario here in the first. Manitoba does have the last rock.
Backy. Yeah, we're there on our own. 12.
Any extra weight here won't get to that center line in time, and you won't have sufficient curl.
Maybe.
Back 12.
It's back there. Nowhere close.
You know, we often talk about supporting our teammates, and I know EJ was trying to help with his information on that draw, but I really hesitate to phrase it. It's a little heavier here, it's a little lighter here, without being specific with the information, because as soon as you get that term heavier, you automatically kick just that little bit harder from the half.
That's just. Here's 2 points. Put it on the board. It's my fault.
Here, just under their breath, you could hear them say, it's okay, we'll get it back. It's early.
guys.
Yeah, no more. Yeah, no more.
We didn't sweep that so earlier in the week. Brad Jacobs getting down on himself and then starting to come back, and it really started to show promise for him in the game against Ontario, where they started off slowly, came back to force the extra, and he made that wonderful shot in 10.
Incredible shot.
And then, of course, Glenn Howard responded with an equally brilliant shot. Praise to grabbing up with the button for the win.
That's how close these teams are, and you know that win there would have been huge for Northern Ont.
It's a little heavy, but it's fine.
Okay. Line. On its own, guys. Just on its own.
That's a
Line's great. Line's great.
Clean it.
Right off. Right off.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Shot, Robbie.
So Manitoba with a nice start to pick up the deuce. It's the final round robin game for Manitoba. They will be idle this evening. Now it's an important game also on sheet B for British Columbia and Jim Cotter out of the Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs. He comes into this with 5 losses. A 6th loss would take him out of the playoff picture. Final rock on the way for New Brunswick's Terry Odishaw out of Curl Moncton. And it is BC sitting 1 covered and looking at the run back. Oh, and he's going to bump it enough for a nice shot to score 2 for New Brunswick. And that's the kind of shot As Russ has said all week, that Odishaw loves to play.
That was no piece of cake, that out.
And on this Thursday afternoon, we're going to start our updates with Alberta against Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia taken out of it after a great start for Kevin Cooey and his team, coming in with a record of 7-2 and trying to rebound after the loss last night, facing a couple. Bangs it on the nose, will get his single to take the early lead. And meanwhile, Newfoundland and Labrador, disappointing week for both Brad Gouju and Mike Goody. And Gouju from St. John's steals one in the first to take the lead there. Final day of round robin play. One more draw will come your way this evening. And for Manitoba, coming off that win last night, it is huge that they did beat Alberta, because should Alberta fall down to 3 losses, remembering Alberta plays now and then Alberta closes tonight against Ontario, should Alberta stub their toe and lose a 3rd game, saying as well that Manitoba has to stay at 3. If they should be tied at 3 losses, Manitoba would get 2nd place in the 1-2 game by virtue of that win last night. So that was huge last night for Manitoba and Fowler. Here in the 2nd, Northern Ontario will have the Last Rock playing the Redstones.
A very nice start to the end for both teams, really. The 2 Rocks played by Manitoba were in the rings and center line area. The corner guard played, and then it was Northern Ontario making the double. An exchange of hits now on the front stone, and there's more room for Brad to operate. And this is what I was saying about leaving yourself a little bit of room. You manipulate the rocks. Now the stone, the center line is only in the 12-foot. A come around will be shot rock.
Sit, baby. Sit, baby. It's fine, right? Freeze it.
You can head the roll for center.
I like straight freeze.
Okay, that's fine.
Straight freeze, Rich. It's good. 7-8.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, Derek. Whoa, whoa.
8-9.
Looks heavy.
9. It is heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy. Closer to 10.
Click the front. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, Derek should be sweeping it.
Okay.
Sweep it maybe to try to hit it thicker. A little more.
So that early hiccup for Quebec, losing on the opening draw, opening day. 3, loss, win, loss, and now look what they've done. And in particular, that win over Alberta last night, followed up with a win over Saskatchewan. And now playing Northern Ontario in their final round-robin game. They'll be idle tonight, coming in with a record of 7-3.
Just worried about an over curl.
Sit. Sit down.
Sit.
Shot.
Okay.
Pretty quick, eh?
Yeah.
Just need a 6.
6.
6.
A nice setup for Northern Ontario. Now Manitoba is playing around that corner, and although they can make a good shot, make an angle freeze, and try and take the end away, it's a little bit nervous when you start to do this.
Hard! Line's good.
7.
Just a 6.
Whoa, 7.
Line's good.
Yes. Line.
Alan Lyburn trying to wrap it around the guard. And he will sit there, edge of the 4 for Shotstone.
Heavy, eh?
Yeah, good shot, Al.
It's heavy.
Might be able to get at that.
We were saying 6-7, so with the sweep can do that. That'd be good, yeah. Can you do that? It should bend enough, don't you think?
Even if it ricochets a bit off that red, it's not bad.
How much can you see? Half. A little less than that. I think we gotta try to tap this. 8, yeah. Tap it onto here. Yeah. Back 8, back 12.
Yeah.
Back eight's great.
Yeah, it's nice and slick.
Try to get by that guard as tight as they can. Even if they wreck on that guard, it's not the end of the world. They're sitting second and third with the hammer. Can't miss wide.
Back eight. Yep. Back yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Hard.
Brian Harnden, Scott Seabrook. Listen to them now. And not going to be able to sneak it by.
Look at this roll. They're going to get into the rings. Fantastic plan B. They stayed with it, brushed it in. Well done.
What you call a smart miss. Nice weight control. It was a tough shot. You only see half of it. Not sure they could even got to the nose. This might even be better.
And they never gave up on it. There it's dusted in to a nice spot on the other side of the house, and that's the one Rob will deal with.
Look a lot of ice, doesn't it? There we go.
Easy. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Yep. Hard. 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 No roll. No roll.
Wyvern will just peek out. But right now it is Manitoba sitting two without last rock.
Close a little bit, eh?
Definitely there.
For Northern Ontario, well, there's those 4 losses that Linda spoke about, and then they win over Alberta, Quebec, and Ontario. It really, though, I thought, Linda, as I mentioned earlier, that game against Ontario when they lost in the extras seemed to get Jacobs a little more confidence because he was really down on himself.
Yes, he was. He was really doubting a lot of the game, and you saw a little bit of that in the first end, but a big shot here. That rock just rolled a little too far and peeks out the wrong side of that front stone.
Got to hit this very thin, but there's enough of it there. Hit it too thick, it'll go across the top.
One more time. Seabrook. Brian Harnden got one. No, and he stuffed it.
Yeah, just a little thinner. And changes around just by a half an inch. You hit that thinner, you sit 3. Now there's a double for Manitoba to sit 3. It's dangerous. You could have gone right through the hole, but they had to get about an inch and a half thinner, and it would have gone across the top of that red one.
Not if you hit
Like nothing.
real skinny.
And then go through?
Well, maybe to the tee line. It would have had to be a little skinnier.
Okay.
A little skinnier.
Oh, yeah.
Hit and roll, guys.
Okay. Kind of weight you throwing?
Nice weight.
Okay.
Hit and roll. Just put their back red on the way by.
Trying to roll buried. If they do, they're really close to making the red double. Sometimes the rocks, after they stop, they just work out well for you. It's just almost a perfect angle to make the double and be buried.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Skip Stones here in 2.
Real hard.
Rob Fowler.
Hard out.
On the shooter will spin to the back. Hang on.
Just a little quiet, maybe? Yeah, I think
Second shot, though, is Northern Ontario. They do have last rock.
No, this is mine.
That did seem a little quiet as far as weight went.
Wow.
They just could not hold it.
Maybe went up nice, maybe. Been a little more aggressive with it, maybe. Worked out not too bad.
Hack, wait. Okay. Huh? Hack?
This is an important shot, not just to try and tap that yellow one back that is shot stone, but for Brad. He really had 2 misses in the first end, and it would be nice to turn that around.
They've seen this spot. EJ ticked the guard and opened it up a bit, but that looks like a lot of ice.
Yep.
Must go hard here.
Yep. Solid hack. Whoa. Yep.
whoa. Heavy, whoa, whoa. Yep.
Yeah, I think a little too much ice or hair heavy, one or the other.
Just pick it.
Brad throws what I call a heavy rock. He's got so much rotation, and he's a strong guy. He kicks out hard. It looks like it's not going as hard as it is, but it's tough to get any curl with that much rotation.
Probably easy.
Rob's a very aggressive curler. Most teams would be really happy just to knock this out. But he's going to play the weight to roll buried here.
He had a couple of hit and rolls against Alberta last night that really were killers. Got steals in both cases. Beautifully played.
Up bump.
Yep.
Up bump. Hard. 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 You gotta go.
Deneau and Samagalski with a huge scrub. Oh, very nice to avoid the jam. Give it a little tick on the way by.
We're working on that one.
They've got it all together right now, don't they?
Allen envisioned crossing a little more and jamming that one in a shot for two for Northern On. So
It's
he
harder
was
to call line than it is sweeping.
promoting the sweeping.
He's never in trouble with jamming. It's just whether we're going to get the roll or not.
Here's a good example about the rotation, Linda. That's a lot of the teams here with that much ice would wreck on this front rock for sure. But
Final stone, draw against 4.
This is not the start that Brad wanted for himself, that's for sure. And he's going to have to be really clear about the weight in this path.
Needs full 4 foot.
T-line. Just line. T-line.
Ryan Harden on the left.
Whoa.
Scott Seabrook on the right. Full 4, and they have just backed right off. And needs to hang around right there, and it did. Jacobs still doesn't look quite comfortable, does he? Think you're a hot shot? Well, log on to FordHotShots.curling.ca. And if you're on target, you could win a lease on a brand new Ford Focus S. Here in Saskatoon, every Brier participant had the chance as well by taking part in the Ford Hot Shots final, coming down to a Battle of Ontario. Easy, fellas. Wayne Madaw stuffing Craig Saville. And then in the end, it was experience over youth as Madaw stuffed him on the ice to become the Ford Hot Shots champion. His prize, a 2-year lease on this beautiful Ford Focus Titanium. Log on to FordHotShots.curling.ca and give it your best shot. And just like Wayne Madaw, you could drive away in a brand new Ford. Final day round robin play here at the Brier in Saskatoon. Northern Ontario makes a terrific draw. They backed right off though, didn't they? Stopped just in time in the 4 foot to pick up the single. So Manitoba with the lead 2-1, and once again the team from the Brandon Curling Club, skipped by Rob Fowler, does have the last rock here in 3, playing the Yellowstones.
going out pretty wide here, a little fresh spot.
Hard, guys. Hard line. Hard, you got it. Hard. Hard. Hard, go. Hard. Hard, fight. Hard. Get a bite, get a bite, get a bite, get a bite.
Lots of rotation on there, big man.
I had lots of rotation on
Yeah.
Actually loses his hand a little bit at the end there.
The other way.
I can't throw anymore with my out turn.
It's interesting how
I thought that had lots.
some athletes always have that poker face. Brad Jacobs isn't one of those. He wears his emotions right out there in the open. And
Nice broom.
we saw it earlier in the week, and we're seeing it a little bit today. He's come in here, whether it's the pressure of the moment,
You didn't bend it.
realizing how close they are, with their record of 5-4 and in position to possibly get to the playoffs, but his expression doesn't exude confidence at the moment.
No, it's interesting. We have in this field some what I call pessimistic curlers, and in particular the ones that are skipping and throwing last. And it's really hard because you're going to make mistakes. When you throw last, there will be moments when you'll be faced perhaps with a difficult shot and you won't make it, and you have to recover from that. You have to reframe that into a positive. And so, for example, last in, Brad missed his first, made his second against 4. That was a beauty. So you have to think about those positives.
Yeah. They had a nice end looking there too for a while. If they'd made the thin double, it would have sat 3 at one point.
Heavy.
Regroup, play another good end.
Curl. Good shot.
This in Northern Ontario had that one mistake come around that short. That's the longer guard of the 2 out in front.
Yeah. That's probably in. I like, normal. Yeah, absolutely. You like the out? Same shot I threw in the
Played it in the first end.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost the same spot.
Yep. Whoa.
Little up.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Sorry, Rob.
And it does sit in time, just on the edge of the 8th.
It's so hard to play a run back and actually make it roll to where you want it to. Just a hit and roll is tough, but would love to brush that just a little bit less. Wouldn't have curled as much and rolled open, but it's not simple.
Well, we're not sure if that yellow one is in, but it's going to be immaterial, it appears, because they'll use it as a run back.
I think to make this, you might even roll your shooter in, Linda.
Easy.
Hit it just right.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Richard Deneau.
Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Wow, did that
boy.
curl. Little break here.
Hard.
Does catch enough of the stone just outside the rings to raise it for shot rock and covered.
Hand this to the skipper. He knew it was going to wreck, so they yelled whoa just in time to redirect it and got a little break, but that's what he tried for. That's in a wonderful spot, and the red guards are staggered, so it's pretty tough to hit it.
So EJ with the come around now.
Just for weight.
Looks pretty close.
Yep. T. Yep. Mine's good. Room. Yeah, we got to go soon. Okay, right back here. Back 4 is fine. Hard. Yeah, line's good. Go. Hard. Go, boys. Right up. Go, boys. Go, boys.
Boy, these two, Ryan Harnden and Scott Seabrook, have already worked a ton, and we're only in the 3rd.
Yeah, they do rely on the brushing. That's not wrong, although it's pretty tough on the brushers. That one, they try to drag it to get more curl as well as be shot rock.
Go, boys, go.
6 inches farther, that hoops right in behind. You wouldn't be able to see any of it.
Yep.
Heavy.
Hard.
Alan Liburn thinks he's got a little piece.
Heavy.
Little piece. And there's enough.
Yep.
Just touch.
Yeah, it's
This is one of these strange ends. It's probably a good situation for both teams.
same weight, hair less size.
If Northern Ontario can sink one here, it's going to be tough to remove, but at the moment, Manitoba's hammer and one dead buried. Keep an eye on that red one on the right-hand side, because if this goes to the button area, you might see Rob come off of that with his hitting ability.
Same
weight. Room. A little more.
You can wait a bit.
Okay, let it curl then. Way back here.
That one's
Way
taking
back
a
here.
long
Way
time.
back here. Way back here. Way back here. Go.
Take it.
Go.
Hard, hard.
Go, 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 go.
Where's the movement?
What?
Where's the movement?
Oh, just a little hair heavy.
Yeah, I know, but I tried to be so it curled more.
We mentioned that British Columbia is in a must-win situation. Jim Cotter out of Vernon and Kelowna after New Brunswick had that nice run back to score two straight blanks. And Alberta trying to win their last two to sew up the 1-2 playoff position. A blank there against Nova Scotia. Alberta leads.
Pretty good.
Six.
Whoa, guys, whoa. Looks heavy.
Six.
Looks heavy.
5, 6.
Looks heavy.
Five.
Heavy, lots of
Six.
room.
Six.
Line's
Whoa.
good, just wait.
Got room. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Wait on it.
Whoa, guys, whoa.
Whoa, wait on it.
Seven.
Where's it?
Whoa.
Freeze it.
We can
Freeze
go
it.
to the back.
Go then. Yep, yep. Hard, guys. Bump it an inch. Hard, guys. Hard, 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 hard. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Just couldn't get to the face of the stone. Slides back to the tee line.
There is lots of room to get in there for Brad. Looks like an interesting little spot. The one comes up a little shorter than expected, and then as soon as you smooth that path down, they're really sliding because the brushers pulled out a 5 at first. That would have been top 8.
Yeah, a couple have been brushed all the way down. More importantly, from the Northern Ontario front end, brushing it. That would definitely warm that path up.
Yeah, that's a good spot, isn't it?
Even that last spot I played going away to the corners was quick too.
They're saying the same thing. It's a little bit quicker than they expected.
Brad Jacobs
Hard. Yep.
and his first
Got room. T-line. T-line.
Manitoba
Okay,
with
go
last
then.
rock.
Help.
Line's good.
Hard.
Short.
Help. Hard.
Here comes E.J. Harnden as
Keep that
well.
moving.
Ryan and
Go.
Scott Seabrook, all three now trying to drag it down.
Jeez.
And even with that, he's going to come up light.
Yeah, just a little soft.
You're not giving it like you usually do.
I mentioned that in the first end. The brusher saying to Brad that he's just not throwing it as normal. It looks like he's playing with it, babying it on hits, maybe not throwing it with the same positive release on draws.
Yeah, it looks like there's not that little pop. He's probably sliding out the same, but just not
We're thinking
finishing
this.
it.
Like bump or something like that, or easy?
Well, I think you got to. I think bumper, you're risking rolling in too
Okay.
low.
Well, it's not might not be.
I just threw the seen Richards with nice weight.
Yeah, I like the
it's
hit and
very
roll.
predictable. You like that, guys?
I think if we make it, it's really good.
So where's the best spot to roll to?
Well, it depends on how you're coming. I like to
said,
say there, then if he makes it
he didn't
top, it's
wanna
still
roll
going to
like
be
Right here.
us. Yeah.
Okay. So roll split the center line. Nice weight.
Rob knows that if
Make a decent
a red
move.
one comes
It's
down
very
here,
similar to
it's
that
an in-off
spot.
opportunity, so he's going to try to take that
You see
away with
where it
his
moves
yellow
the
rock.
log in, remember?
So it was-
Bring it down here, try to roll anywhere. Even if he's a little bit deep here, it's not too bad, but ideally he'd love to roll in front of the tee line.
Yeah, that tap is tougher.
And to change that angle, it depends on how much of that stone you hit.
Hey, Rob.
I thought Rob might have to play this to get out of the end. This is a chance to have a big score with a mistake by Brad Jacobs. Smart call. You make this. Even missing it, you're in pretty good shape. But you make this. What does Northern Ontario do?
Easy. Whoa. Whoa. No, guys. No.
Not a lick from
No.
Samagalski or Deneau.
Hard. Hard.
Well,
Hard.
they got a
hard,
little
hard.
bit across the nose to roll to the edge of the 4 foot.
That's really good.
Oh, jeez.
I think he got edge to edge to that guard.
Too hard to get moving.
It's not bad.
No, it's fine. It's perfect, really.
Slash 2. Let me have a look.
Like that.
Yeah.
There's the yellow double, the one that Rob just threw.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous.
We're shot. Like if we make that.
Yeah. Are we?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. If you leave it anywhere, we're giving up 3. Unless you can't get shot, I don't think, unless you paper that. And then he...
Alberta opened with a single with Last Rock in the first. They blanked the second in Alberta. And Kevin Cooey out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary is sitting 3, and that's what is facing. Jamie Murphy of CFB Halifax got off to such a wonderful start, but then stumbled down the stretch, one of the 2 rookie teams in the field.
Whoa, whoa!
6 losses has taken him out of contention.
You make it 4.
Whoa!
Through the hole. No. Oh, no.
Well, it's
No.
whatever you guys like.
And it'll be a steal of 3 for Alberta. They're up 4-0.
I like that.
What is it, each? Half or so?
In half.
Less than half?
Thick.
A little less than half, I think.
Yeah, it's in half, eh?
This would be perfect if he makes it, because they feel if it's made, the red one at the back will be shot rock, but you cannot hit this red one. And there's not much difference between making the double and hitting the red one.
That's a tough angle.
Yikes. These are the ones you tend to hit too thick also, so there's a really good chance he could take his own out here and it would be a draw for 3.
Final stone, Northern Ontario in some trouble here in 3. Oh, he'll tick it over. And it looks like it has stopped to sit 2 Manitoba with Last Rock. And that's not going to help the confidence.
Just had to brush that all the way down. You had to make the mistake wide limit. Even with that big weight, you were peeling those out for sure. You got off it for a second. That's all the difference. So close, too.
4 shots now.
Okay.
Ah, we shit you up that one.
Taking 95 to tee.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. The 3 sweeps from perfect.
So a great opportunity here for Manitoba after scoring 2 with Last Rock to add 3 more here in the 3rd.
All there right
There,
now.
slots.
Looks heavy.
Whoa then. Slots. Whoa. Slots. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bullet.
Not even looking at this one.
Wow. Goodness. That's a huge missed opportunity when you have a chance for 3 and you put it through the back. 4-1 Manitoba.
Sorry, guys. Did I throw about 85?
4-1 Manitoba as we welcome you back to Saskatoon and this final day round robin play of the Tim Hortons Brier. But will that missed point, that 3rd possible point, come back to haunt the team from Brandon when it's all said and done? They had a chance for 3. Rob Fowler, heavy, going through, picks up his deuce, leads 4-1, and so here in 4, Northern Ontario trying to regroup. Down by 3, they'll have the Last Rock playing the Redstones.
Okay, that's good. Good brush, guys. Brush, boys. Sweet, boys.
I like topping it.
Yeah. Do we need to throw this?
Like, why do we need to take
Now
it
this
out?
is what they threw
Why don't we
early in the
keep it in the
game.
back?
So, like, back
Back,
Second
back
end when they were
line,
trying to
back
set up
12.
behind the corner. I think the team's concerned now with the scoreboard. If you happen to lose
Back
the
12.
shooter, you're losing the advantage of having that corner in place. It'll just get peeled out. So they're asking for less weight, more ice.
Back 12.
Room.
Clean.
Back line.
Yep. Hard.
Hard. Gotta go.
Hard line. Hard. 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 Right up hard. Right up hard.
Oh, just saved it, just enough of hitting that yellow to slow it down.
Stays in play, back edge of the 8-foot.
Yep. Hard.
Richard Deneau.
Good boy, Rich.
Peels off the guard.
This Manitoba team's a tough team to come back on. A 3-point lead's a lot. They hit so well.
This is my draw last end.
The same ice you had Brad for the draw to the.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit. Yep. Got room. You got room.
Gotta be back there.
4. Yep.
Hold on.
Yep.
Trying to use
Line's
the two
good.
yellows
All
in the
guys.
rings as the guards, going right to the back
Line's
4,
good.
back 8, but this could also
Got
set up a
room.
red
Back
double.
4.
Tons of
Back
room.
8's fine. Hard. Stay on it, each.
Hard, EJ.
Stay on it. Okay. That's good.
And they will go back 8.
But you have to give Ryan credit. He's actually 100% right now, and he's still putting them in the position that his skip is asking for. Very nicely done.
Knows it.
You want to stick it,
I don't think you want to stick it.
Just peel, I think.
Yeah, then he freezes, right?
Yep. Okay. Whoa. Boy, Rich. Good throw.
New Brunswick scored that lovely 2 in the first. Since then, there have been blanks in 3 and 4. Final rock is on the way now for
Yep. Whoa.
BC's Jim Cotter of the Vernon and Kelowna Curling Clubs. And you see that's the all-important number there, that 5 losses. Trying to stay there. And needs to sit and not roll too far, and he'll use the catcher. 1, and it appears 2 for BC to tie it.
Yep. Room. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Hard. Yep. Hard line. Room. Room. Yep. Room. Hard if you have to.
Tons of room.
Right up each. Go.
Great
Go.
throws.
What a beauty. Nice sweeping.
As mentioned, final day of round robin play. One more game to play tonight for many teams. We know Ontario will be in that 1-2 game. Alberta, Manitoba, they're going to probably decide who finishes second. Northwest Territories, Jamie Cooey Yellowknife. Look at this, 6 and 4. And he plays BC tonight. That's why it's all important for BC to stay at 5 losses. Because if BC could beat him tonight and bring him back, and then of course you've got Northern. We'll figure it out. But there is the potential, a very good possibility, as we look at the games today and tonight, that there may be 1, possibly 2 tiebreakers.
Shot, Al.
Could not see a lot of that red
As good
one.
as you
What a
could do.
dangerous shot.
Couldn't get rid of the ball.
Nice shot, Al.
Good shot.
Got the one and popped the other into the open. Very nice.
It's out in the open, too. It's great.
Yeah, that's great. And we're shot.
Yeah, I'm more shot.
It's even better for Manitoba is if the yellow
always,
doubles played, it probably runs it back onto their own red for Northern Arms.
See what they like. I don't mind this.
Just kind of jam it there, right?
Do you like the hit on the top one and just roll it here?
I think so, yeah.
Pardon me?
I think so, yeah.
So you can get rid of one of the yellows
Kinda
as long as you
jam it.
angle it back correctly. Brad can get it by the red one at the back of the house, and then you would be sitting maybe first, but definitely having 2 in the rings.
Whoa. Yep.
Little soft
Whoa.
control.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Off.
straight there. Sit, sit, sit. It's not horrible. All right.
You would love to have had one of those roll out of the rings.
He's going to ask for a bit less.
It's not horrible.
No, I was going to ask for less ice, too. Nothing's curling there.
I don't like that. Well, we're on leg 3, don't we?
Oh, yeah, Why don't you hit gotta hit the second one, don't we?
What's that?
I like hitting the other one.
Come here. I can't hear a word you're saying. Come here.
Just peel out the set, because if we peel that one, they hit the line too, right?
Well, those two are level.
Come here.
Just peel it. Just peel it.
Just peel which one?
The back, the second shot one. Just peel it and roll out.
They'll get 2 if you do that.
Why?
Because they'll freeze, then I have to blast. Why not? What's the problem with saving one over here and getting the force going?
Well, they could hit and roll to that one too, and they get up to
Hit and roll to that one, how?
Oh, they could play this side one. They're still gonna. Doesn't matter what you do. They're still gonna play the freeze.
I just think it's to the stage of the end that we should nose this one, keep another yellow in the house.
Okay, that's
and then
fine.
if it works out in the middle, we'll have the force on.
Okay.
They freeze, we blast, and then it's a 2 or a blank.
You don't think they'll just nose our yellow?
Byron coming down, trying to make his point, but then just sold it, went as far as he could, and then just turned and, okay, Skipper, that's what you want to do.
And that's great. It was a good discussion, and I think they're both kind of right. You could sit 3, take your chances. You could even peel it because there's no yellow double at this point in time. Rob's saying the Northern Ont will freeze. So this isn't wrong either. Just hit and stay. 3 yellows on 1 red. That's not bad.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well,
Good.
No, other one.
Shut up.
And what Rob Fowler's hoping is
I'm just
you're
thinking
going to
like
shrink
this
that
one.
area a little bit, and there might be a chance for a red double
You
here
might
eventually.
not be able to get either one.
I kind of like that one.
Okay.
Well, you knew the freeze was coming. They're just debating which one to play to.
I know what
and
you're saying.
trying
Like,
to set
this is a
the
good
angle.
one, too. This one's easier.
If we get it on the nose, just
Kind of like this one.
that side, where's it go? Yeah. Goes into the yellow, doesn't it?
Probably should, yeah. He dead knows it.
The thing is if we go over to the other side and bounce off, we can give them a double.
Yeah. No, this is good. I like
Okay. Right on the face of it. Hair on your side.
You can see the broom is closed down now. It's a
Really?
little bit straight in this spot.
It better be, because otherwise this over curls and there's a red double to sit 4.
Top 4, eh?
Got room.
There.
T. Got
I
room.
think it's there, right?
T-line.
Let it curl.
Big
Let it
rotation,
curl.
that'll keep it straighter.
T-line.
T.
It has
Top
to
4.
curl,
E.J.
Mile.
Harnden.
T.
Off.
Northern Ontario down by
At least
3.
T.
They have the last rock.
Curled about 2 feet.
What's happened here today, Russ, with this ice?
Well, I think Northern Ontario, they throw a lot of rotation, and most of the top teams that play on the this type of ice all the time have learned to throw it out a bit. Make sure they don't get narrow. You get narrow, it's gone. That's what happens to all the Eastern teams when they first get here. So
wanna get this one too
I think
thick,
that was
that's
a little
for
bit of
sure.
an outward motion and the big
go out in
spin.
there?
But we have talked about the center being a little high, so it's
There, Vance, right there.
I think it was more release, Linda, than anything.
Huh? What is Rob throwing?
No, I'm not sure. I think perhaps the release usually isn't costly unless you're also heavy. You need to throw those to the brushers so that at the end that pickup, that crank comes in, lots of curl at the end, and it just didn't do it.
Hit the red one first here. The yellow will redirect onto the back red. Or hit the yellow as thin as you possibly can, one or the other. Pretty simple double for somebody like Rob. This is what he was banking on when he hit that outside one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Rob Fowler in his first.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa.
Bang, bang, angles it back, and look at that. Manitoba sits 4 without last rock.
Probably like that one, eh? Good shot.
Funny how 2 games in a row it feels just a little bit like the opposition for Manitoba has put them in exactly the wrong spot. Alberta had it happen in their game. Now, Manitoba's playing well, and they certainly deserve the win in the game against Alberta, but sometimes you get those little breaks of where the rock lands, and it leaves the double exactly the way you want to play it.
Yeah, we watched it in the second end. Alberta had, Northern Ont had a great situation set up, didn't hit the double in the wrong spot, and all of a sudden there was 4 in there against them again.
Pretty close. We're peeking in at the game between Nova Scotia and Alberta. Alberta scored 1 with the last rock in the first, and then there was the big steal of 3. Jamie Murphy of Halifax crashed, and now this is a draw against 2. 1 T-line, 4 foot, and that yellow stone just outside the 4 foot appears to be second shot.
Line's good. Line's good, guys.
What's that? Quarter rock.
Room.
Handle.
Yep. Yep. Room. Got.
Very nice. Nova Scotia on the board, trailing 4-1 to Alberta. And the 2010 Canadian and world champion, Kevin Cooey from the Glencoe in Calgary.
And here comes that up weight. It was a nice freeze.
Whoa! 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 Yep! Hard!
One more time.
Boy,
he jammed it. He jammed it off the side.
A little thinner, eh?
That's why they overcurled the freeze, to make that harder for him. They just thought with that big weight they could get it spinning.
Good throw. I did it a little thinner.
For some reason that came up on Rob a little bit. They tough to criticize the sweeping call. They had to hit the darn thing first, but a nice freeze by Brad Jacobs. He sets up a chance for 2.
You could see Alan Liburn looking up to see where the other Manitoba stone was in the top of the 12 foot, but it stuck around, and just like that, on that little mistake, Northern Ontario has a chance to get a couple right back.
Let him know if it's heavy so he can call the line properly or light or whatever.
After seeing so many rocks go so straight, but with big weight, now you're a little unsure when you pull the weight back to make sure you save the shooter how much curl you will get.
Off it.
Little up.
Yep.
Whoa.
Forward still.
Right up.
Clean. Whoa. Clean.
So often it comes down to one rock, wrong position, or a mistake, and you get punished. Northern Ontario picks up 2.
Wayne has never played third before. It's a brand new position. He's been a second or a skip his entire life, and he has risen to the occasion. He's been unbelievable. When we formed the team in the beginning, Rich said, who do you want as your front? If you had to pick anybody in the province, and I said Brent Lang and Craig Saville. He says, me too. I think arguably one of the best front ends that have ever played, because they bring everything. They've got dedication, they make the shots, they have the personality on and off the ice, and we get along as a cohesive unit. And they're unbelievable.
And this week again, Glenn Howard, in his 14th Brier appearance, has qualified for the playoffs now 13 out of those 14 times. Is guaranteed a spot in the 1-2 game. Kevin Cooey will be his opposition tonight, and that likely will be for that 1-2 spot. Now, should, of course, Cooey lose, he would drop down to 3 losses, possibly with Manitoba. And Manitoba knows that if they can win, they still may have a chance for the spot in that 1-2 page playoff. As we welcome you back on this Thursday afternoon to Saskatoon, the Credit Union Center. We just see it so often. One little mistake, and that's all that Manitoba appeared to make in that 4th end of play. And Northern Ontario jumps on it, gets their 2, So here in 5, it is Manitoba leading, and they do have the last rock.
Good shot. Good boy.
You have to give a lot of credit to Northern Ontario. They're hanging in there. They're trying to get the rocks in the right spot, even though Manitoba's making a lot of shots. Again, the Northern Ontario front end doing a good job of putting rocks in the right place. There was the long guard. Manitoba rock came short. The wraparound by Scott Seabrook, very nicely done, and there was the angle freeze.
Wait only, wait only, wait only.
Scott's hanging in there, isn't he? He was 11 coming in against the Derek, who's number 1 at the lead position. But they're both at 89%, so he's doing his part.
Hard, keep it going.
Whoa,
Hard,
whoa,
hard, hard.
whoa,
Listen,
whoa,
just-
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not bad. It wasn't being heavy. But,
No.
Oh, but I wouldn't give for one rock not to pound it in the hand to stop.
They are brushing a lot.
Straight peel.
On the last day of round robin, they've already had all those days of brushing.
What?
We point out again,
Should drag
BC
through
with their
anyway.
5 losses, desperate to stay there, playing New Brunswick in a 2-2 tie, and it is New Brunswick with the last rock, but at the moment,
Actually, a little off nose.
Jim
on
Cotter from Vernon in Kelowna is sitting 3.
Yeah.
And here we go, Russ. This is one of those situations
Yep.
where
Yeah.
we just know, and you know Terry Odishaw so well, he loves to play the big shot.
It might not be there either. Depends on how he hits this. It depends on whether if the top one drags the second one, he gets them all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Drove it by, so it'll be a steal of 1 for BC.
Didn't look like the angle was there, Linda. He had planned on some
Hard line.
extra drag that I didn't dream up.
Or he was just willing to give up the single.
That could be. That could be. The draw wasn't simple. It could have been a draw against 3, and you missed that, you're in trouble.
Sets.
How much you see of the red?
That's a good
Hit a little bit on your side, maybe the guards, eh? Might get all of them going.
Not much, eh?
No.
Not much, no. I think take it over the top.
Not really.
What about hit?
Over the top.
Just drill this
Talking
hair
about the one in
low.
the ring,
Yeah, right
so
there.
now they'll go up and try and make some damage happen out front.
Maybe it'll guard our yellow, maybe, and a red will be open, right?
Okay.
Even if you hit and roll to the center line, we'd still be guarding our yellow.
Peel, wait.
Just a little off center on the inside.
Yeah, just hit and flop.
That yellow one will come towards the second red. You can get rid of both reds for sure, and the yellow might spin towards the ring.
7/8 low.
Good to call 7/8 low, so just a hair in the inside of a nose hit.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yes.
Watch where this yellow goes.
Nice shot,
Oh,
Richie.
great shot. That could stay.
Hold on, baby. Got a wide beauty. Great
Great
shot.
shot, Richie.
Good boy, Richard.
Probably that hit.
Tell you, Rob Fowler really understands angles, and they do a wonderful job with the up weight stuff. They get themselves out of jail time and time again with some beautiful shots.
I think it comes back to the beginning of the whole tournament, and he didn't seem to be very clear, and it was those nerves, and you wondered how he would do skipping in the Brier, but he now is very decisive, very clear, takes input, but when he wants to play the shot that he wants, he goes back to it, and he's the leader.
Normal.
Clean. Well. Clean. Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Nice job to hold it and at least make contact, and whether the shooter hangs on, it does. At the back 12, Manitoba does have the last rock here in 5.
You know, Northern Ontario would love to force the single at this stage. They wanted to have that one hang around.
You could do that.
You could freeze to it too.
Problem with this, it's...
Yeah.
That's not bad, actually.
You can just freeze to it too.
Be good.
What, am I freezing it? No?
It's okay. Freeze is good. Okay, it's right there.
Tricky little freeze. You have to go wider than they've been. Not sure that's enough ice even.
Yeah, it depends on how it's going to travel this direction. On the same side of the sheet. Coming home, it is much straighter than the other turn.
Go a little more.
Yeah, they just widened it out about 4 or 5 more inches.
Of course, it keeps curling as it goes through the house, being at the very back. Going to get some extra curl.
Right to it, guys. Line's good. Line's good. Line's real good. Right to it.
Hard, guys.
Hard, guys.
You're really good. Come on.
Hard, guys. Line's good.
Hard, Derek.
It's good now. Line's good.
Let's go.
Hard. Hard, Derek.
Keep going.
Hard.
I got it.
Hard. Whoa.
Okay.
Good shot, guys.
Good brushing, sorry. Just a hair late. Just a hair late in that puppy.
Good shot, too. Freeze on it.
That would have over curled a little bit deeper.
You like that, guys?
I do.
Like Linda says, that you're back 6 feet farther. That's so much more curl.
I don't really see anything else.
Wow, the other thing, you can play hack weight and just swap a bit.
Or that, or make the double.
On this side. On this side.
Okay, let's do it.
Way less weight taken by Northern Ontario, so they're definitely throwing it differently. Much less broom position. It's almost 7 inches less for virtually the same shot.
It's pretty close.
Line.
Back 4.
Right on the edge of the 8
Yep.
foot.
Not heavy.
The brush went down from Brad Jacobs.
Go back 8.
Back
Easy.
8. Back 8.
Go back 8.
Back 8.
To it, small bump.
Nothing.
Back 12.
They just not get the curl, these guys.
His rocks aren't curling at all. He even threw that soft.
But he's throwing it by himself. Like, we're not...
Yeah, it is heavy.
Yeah.
They rely on a set, so they put extra rotation. You can see the little flip at the end that sets it out, gives the brushers a chance to take it at the end, but the brushers don't have that chance because he's throwing it there on his own.
Yeah, but then we'll have that red. You can probably run that red.
You can try to stay like nose of that yellow or something. Nose of the yellow, like if you roll over.
Bumper?
Yeah. Okay.
Low frame.
Whoa.
Whoa. Get off.
Close.
Go.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Hard.
Yep.
Hard.
Little inside flop.
Oh,
Great
very
shot.
nice. Just across the nose to push it out the back.
Good shot, Al.
What do you think, guys?
I think it's just
Pretty good. I think.
Right on the nose.
Oh, yeah. Right on
You
the
can't be here. 'Cause then he'll just...
Well, I'm just thinking about this here.
Oh.
No, just
Here then?
Yeah, just a hair inside. I think this would be fine.
You could run that top yellow the way Jacobs hits. There's actually probably a triple, or certainly get 2 of them. This is a good call too if you make it, but it's not in the right spot. There might be a red double.
If we tick the front,
I like this.
okay.
I don't mind this. Just freeze it, eh?
Yeah, just freeze it.
Trying extremely hard to force to a single here, but they have to be careful.
Play that.
Trying to cross that yellow one that shot rock back 4, back 8 area so that that angle on the other red isn't there.
Back 4. Back 8.
Good weight.
Yep.
Freeze it.
Whoa. Yep.
You gotta go, Ben.
Got to go for line.
Yep.
Line's
Yes, line.
Once again, Harnden and Seabrook put it into overdrive here. It's a huge scrub.
Go.
The rub and the roll to the edge of the button.
Same thing again, Vic. Linda mentioned some days the rocks just rolled at the wrong spot. This is a pretty makeable double here. Dead on. They both fly. Danger now for Northern Ontario. That was the problem with that shot. You had to be perfect or you're in big trouble.
My side, not your side.
Well, Nova Scotia just won't go away, giving Alberta a game here as they sit 1. Down 4-1 as they play in the 5th. And it'll be a final stone-eating 4-foot for Kevin Cooey.
Line's good.
I'm sure these two skips.
Line's fine.
And he's looking over at the Manitoba game, and Manitoba's looking over
Straight
at his
draw,
game.
no backing yet.
Keeping an eye on the score, realizing
Hard,
that
guys.
they
You
could,
gotta
in
go.
fact, be
Really gotta go.
in the battle for the
Hard,
second
guys. Full
spot
forward,
in the
hard.
1-2 page playoff. And he's going to come up light. So Nova Scotia will pick up a steal. Alberta leads it going to the break.
Jeez. Good shot. I thought it was curling when you went like. You got really nice.
Right now, you just don't want to give him these chances, Rob Fowler.
Not at all. He's a super hitter, understands the angles, and a slight mistake with an aggressive call by Northern On could spell the end of them here.
I guess we're on that.
We don't know how to get there. We miss that, we're toast.
Well, that's the great thing about Rob's shot, where that Yellowstone rolled to shot rock position. That's taken away the line that they had, that they knew to get to the back one if you ever wanted to play a freeze, and now they think it's too dangerous to try.
If you could hit that right there, the double at the top's really easy, but if you could ever get this yellow rock thin, they might all fly.
Northern Ontario and Brad Jacobs from the Sioux. They need something big. Is this the shot? Oh, he'll get rid of a couple. And now it'll be a chance for 3 for Manitoba.
To curl quite a bit more.
Clean it all the way, Rich.
Yeah.
Bumper weight, guys.
Bumper, okay.
Rob Fowler missed a chance for 3 in the 3rd. Has another chance here. Samagalski and Deneau almost before he let it go. We're on this. Here Liburn calling the line, trying to hold it for him, trying that he doesn't roll it out, and great brushing to pick up 3. Manitoba here in 5.
Great sweep, baby. Good sweeping.
You told me about these 2 horses, so.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group. Proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies.
You just can't give somebody on a roll, such as Manitoba, and in particular Rob Fowler, these kind of chances. Great shot. It's a key shot by Fowler, his first in 5.
Well, we talked about in the opening these old second stones, not that he's that old. Love these shots, and that's his get out of jail shot every time, right down the center line. It's just enough the top at the redirect, sits 4.
Goes on to score 3 to lead 7-3. Rob Fowler out of Brandon is with Brian.
Rob, you have to be very happy picking up that 3 and 5, but I want to talk to you about 3, where you're kicking yourself a little bit with that final draw.
Well, that's something you got to bury real quick. That wide draw is a shot that we've struggled a little bit early in the game. You don't know how much pebble's going to be out there, and we had one last night that came a little light, so we threw it a little more aggressive, and there wasn't enough pebble out there. So, but the good news was we got the deuce, and we're controlling the scoreboard, so we're happy with that.
Obviously, a great day for you. How satisfying knowing you come into this final day of round robin play, destiny within your own hands?
Yeah, we've talked about that the last couple of days. Even when we were 4-3, we felt that it was still in our hands, and we knew that if we can string some wins together, that we'd be in good shape to make the playoffs.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
They've got to be happy with the results of so far. Up 7-3. Do the numbers also say that, Linda?
They sure do. The front end for Northern Ontario was actually playing pretty well, but as soon as Alan Liburn, that third for Manitoba, steps up, the difference starts. He's playing so well, and you've seen Rob Fowler and his hitting prowess, full measure for their 4-point lead.
Problem for Northern Ontario, should they lose, they would drop to 5 losses, and that would make it tough.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association. By Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle.
We see a lot of the curlers this week here at the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon watching. The same pictures you're seeing at home. It's on the big score clock overhead. Beautiful facility. Seating's just over 15,000. It's the home of the Saskatoon Blades. 6-game road trip for them. They got to bring out the stick here. Rob Fowler wants to see if, in fact, this stone is in the rings or in the free guard zone. Will determine whether he plays it or not, remembering now that Northern Ontario does have the last rock here in 6.
Yeah.
Trying to set something up, get something going. Don't often see this. And of course, where is that 6-foot stick? As far away as possible. Also checking in on BC, trying to stay at 5 losses, playing New Brunswick.
It's good.
We're good, Grant.
Good.
So this is an open draw for the deuce.
In fact, BC had a wide open hit. It picked with Cotter's first shot, went over, kicked a yellow New Brunswick rock, rolled it into the rings, and he actually had to make a double of his last one to give up this 2.
That's 2. New Brunswick. One more time. Wow, you know what? I mean, that's paper. That's it. That's just outside by paper.
But I'll tell you what, yes, it's outside and can't be hit, but it's one more that has slid too far, and we'll see it just go by. Oof.
Wow.
Looks like it is almost touching a little piece of granite that might be sticking out on that hitting band, but it was supposed to be a halfway guard. It's not that useful being that tight, so yet again, players struggle with the post fifth end ice.
Oh, Derek.
Oh, D-man. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, a couple feet heavy.
Yeah.
Rob.
I think
It's funny how we get into that habit, isn't it? It's a muscle memory thing. You know the speed in the fifth end. It's that 3-4 feet faster, and you forget. People just seem to forget.
That's a complication. It's hard to get around because the ice may not swing quite as much at this stage. It's also, when they're setting up the second corner, potentially setting up a double peel.
Yeah, there'll be definitely a double on here if Rob chooses to take it on.
Yep. Okay.
Knowing Rob, he will. Well, maybe not. The theory here is the double's tough. Plus, you could actually hit and roll in here if you miss this peel, which isn't all bad.
Hard! Hard! A little more, a little more!
Okay, good.
Oh, mate, that's too flat. Nothing.
Now with the better of the two corners, we're going to give it a try. Outside center line. Massive finish from Hogline in this spot.
It's good.
Okay, lots of line.
Probably get by the guard by 6-8 inches and still be dead
Line
buried.
should be okay. No, let it curl. Line's good. Oh,
Where do you want it?
got to curl. Right here if we can.
Go deep?
Yep, hard.
Gets by a
Finish
foot.
Hard. Go, 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 go.
It's part of being on a team and the nature of team sport, but it is a little frustrating, I know, for Scott and Ryan. They're actually playing very well. Scott, that one guard came a little tight, but otherwise their numbers are big. They're setting up the ends, and it's just difficult because at this point it's actually EJ and Brad Stones, both for the ice problems, figuring out where to put the broom and weight. And things are just not working for the third and skip of Northern Ontario.
Yeah, I think so. Freeze there. He has a pocket.
Yeah, way too early. If anything, I'd like to hit and roll later on.
Tight, I think.
Definitely not going to have to go for weight.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it at all.
Okay.
It's coming down pretty good.
We'll over curling if anything.
Okay.
Need you clean it? Off. Off. Each. What do you want to do here?
A free preview of Juice Box. Music for Kids is on now. The music video channel featuring parent-approved videos from today's biggest stars such as Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. Contact your TV service provider for details.
Whoa, clean, whoa, clean. Clean. Go, Alan.
I thought that was you at the start.
What's that?
I thought that was Rob calling us on at the
I
start.
didn't. Someone 6'8". Wow. No, I don't know.
You just hate to play a hit yet. The other shot is that. Sit there.
This was also a great example, as you said, Russ,
You can
about
tap this
getting
to here.
behind to a team that can defend that lead. Now we have several of them in this field. Alberta definitely has the hitting ability.
What do you guys like?
They just weren't able to use it against Manitoba because they fell behind. But this Manitoba team is showing us how they can run rocks off.
Well,
You get separation that way too, each.
yeah. You think we need to right now or one more guard?
Can we split that yellow in behind our red and roll in front?
Yeah, that's a good call too. No,
Pardon?
no, no. That rot one, just tap and roll. Tap
Oh,
it
I see what
behind
you're
the
saying.
red.
Get it here.
That'd be a nice roll. You gotta make it, but
About back 12?
yeah. I like that better than the hit. For sure.
Once Manitoba took the lead, it's been that same theory as peel the guards, draw the play into the rings, and wait for that chance for a double. And luckily for Manitoba, Northern Ontario is obliged by not getting them quite in the right spot. And here's another situation where they're trying to play a really delicate half rock yellow, try to put the yellow behind the red, roll frozen. But if it's not made, the two reds will be grouped together. And you know what happens when that when there's a double possibility for Mr. Fowler.
So EJ Harnden will try and do that.
No.
Maybe through.
Back line.
Through.
No.
Back line. Clean. Whoa. Coming down. Still back line. Still back. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
One of the interesting things is which sheet you play on, which rocks you play with, and which opposition you are playing against. Well, last night it was Manitoba against Alberta, and they had what you might call the better rocks. The same is happening here. The yellow stones on this sheet not only have more wins, they're a higher shooting percentage. That may be the better information to use. You can get that report and see how they are playing. And on this sheet, it is the yellow stones that are better. So 2 games in a row that we've shown, Manitoba's had that little edge with the rocks.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Alan Liburn.
Whoa.
They'll get one and then roll underneath. Does that get in your head about the stones, Russ?
It can. All the top teams, it doesn't. Some of them relish having rocks that are a little bit different because they can pair them up in practice. But I know there's been a few teams out here that have struggled with the rocks for sure. And we watched Terry Odishaw this morning. He decided halfway through the game that his 7 rock was a problem, and then you have to get rid of it. If it's in your head, get rid of it. Bring it down to that lowly lead. Let him play with it.
Hair off noses.
We did see the Yellowstones on sheet A, the ones that Alberta play with, cause them problems with a couple of picks, and then you do start to worry that there's something about that running edge that is just a little off.
You were saying yellow A's the toughest rocks in the building.
They are losing dramatically. So we're doubting that come playoff time, anybody's going to choose to use those ones for sure. This is another hard situation. The red one's in a pretty nice spot at the moment.
You don't have to move it.
Okay, I don't mind.
So how do you continue to build this end? Look at the ice for them. Very tight ice.
Yeah, they're really straightening them out. We've seen it with other competitors. The Chinese women's team comes to mind, where they would, in this case, would probably have 2 feet more ice for the soft release, a little bit of an inward motion. And the Harndens are exactly the opposite, a little pausey out, lots of rotation. They can hold it there, and they also happen to have a front end that can keep them straight.
Yep.
Make sure it's frozen.
Yep.
Make sure it's there, Ryan.
Hard.
Come on, Ryan.
Hard.
And the front end goes to work again.
Go! Keep going. Go.
Keep going.
They waited for a long time. Shotstone appears to be Manitoba, going just that much back of the pin.
I don't mind that. There are lanes. The nose is actually not. Nose isn't great because he could inside freeze. I can't hit them both, right?
Yeah.
So let's try and get this one and try and get our shooter into here. Okay. That way my shooter's out of the way so I can get the 6, right?
That's right, then the 6 is available to get smashed out of there.
It'll curl just a bit there, so right there.
What turn are you throwing?
Out turn. Out turn. Peel weight, just a hair high. Just a little more.
This is a great one. We'll watch Robbie's release here. You can see where the broom is. It's almost on the center line. If he gets to the center line, it's virtually curled too far. So Rob's out turn runs incredibly straight.
Get them both and just roll side 4.
Throw him peel.
Yeah. Whoa.
Rob Fowler and the first skip stone here in 6. Was looking for the roll 2 and he got it. Bumps his own. Sits for shot stone. Edge of the 4. Northern Ontario does have the hammer.
Not terrible.
Can't squirt ours very far.
It's either that or we got
to make sure too here. Is it terrible if we squirt it to here, actually?
No, I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad. If we just off nose.
Yeah.
And squirt it over, or even nose. You can't hit and roll.
Yeah, he'd have to roll this way.
There'd be no double.
No, he'd have to roll this way.
Yeah.
Make it perfect. Hopefully.
I don't really like this.
No, neither do I. We got to make a play here.
I think control weight just off.
Yeah, control weight just off. I like that. Let's go right there. Nose is pretty close.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Russ?
That's really all they have, Vic. Down 4 points. You hit the back ones there, and it doesn't work out. You're forced to a single, and that's not good enough. They have to score 2 here. This is the only way to do it. Hit this. The danger here, though, the Reds are going to be grouped together, so it all depends on how they roll, what kind of angle it sets up for Rob Fowler. There potentially will be a double here.
Control.
Dip! Dip!
Yeah, I think he can hit that back one first. There it is. Over to the side. The top one comes out.
Another tough one for Rob.
Just a hair less.
This is what's happened end after end. That you just can't seem to get the rocks in the right spot if you're Northern Ont. If Rob Fowler hits this one first, it's gone for sure, and that will give this action kicking the red one out that way and not jamming on the yellow. Peel weight, half a rock, they both fly.
And this is becoming his favorite turn. After he throws this one, he will have thrown twice as many out-turn hits as in-turn over the course of this Brier. And he's obviously playing them very well.
Yeah! Hard! Hard!
Samagalski and Deneau.
Whoa!
1 or 2?
Shot, Rob.
2.
Good.
What's that?
Kind of squished that one out the side. It was,
Just ticked it, didn't it?
yeah, I was expecting to see a bit of a bang, but it just went up right out the side.
It must be very disheartening at this point for Brad Jacobs, because it has been every end they had anything set up. The rocks ended up in the wrong spot, and Robbie very calmly gets rid of them.
Too thin of any double here, or you have to play the drop ball single?
Really, that'd be really dangerous.
Okay.
That's the ball game if you miss that double, Vix. And take your one and hope that you can get something going next end.
Sea line. Keep it clean.
Northern Ontario will get a single here in 6. Manitoba, Fowler is on fire.
I just don't think we're, you know, as pretty or as consistent as like Glenn Howard. Those guys are like machines. We're probably don't throw as high percentages routinely like them, but you know, we make the shots when it counts, and we can, you know, make some big shots to get out of trouble, and somehow we find a way to win some ugly games.
Well, more often than not, Cooey calls his Alberta side a scrappy team. And they will be on the ice tonight in our feature final round robin draw against Ontario at 7:30 Eastern Time. Cooey presently playing Nova Scotia and leading by a couple, and they looked for a long time at this as Cooey plays his last in 6. Russ?
Well, they looked at it a long time. If you could throw a peel away, they could bounce it across and make an actual double here, but then they realized the angle wasn't quite there, so the only choice to play a soft double raise and try to redirect off that Nova Scotia rock. Perfect.
Isn't that something? 4-2 to take a 6-2 lead over Nova Scotia and Jamie Murphy, CFB Halifax. Now BC in that must win, sitting at 5 losses and down 4-3, playing 7. Last rock for Jim Carter. Jim Carter out of Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs. Makes the hit, pushes it out the back. That gives him 2 to take the lead 5-4.
Welcome back, Vic.
Thanks.
And Cotter.
Manitoba, Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario gets the single, and they're down by 3. And once again, Manitoba will have the last rock here in 7. Sometimes the brain thinks quicker than the mouth, you know.
Vic, you do so well with the names. Good heavens. Not a problem.
Northern Ont going to try to throw up a couple guards here. This one's going to slide in. They'll be able to hit it if they want.
Well, we've actually already gone past lead rocks. The interesting part was there was the one guard and then the come around, and Brad Jacobs called the next one as a freeze, not a guard. And I think that was the surprise.
Yep.
And the other part about it was Manitoba did make the rock go away, but almost took the guard. And of course, at that stage, they couldn't have removed it and it would have come back. So there was all sorts of unusual things happen in those first few rocks. But we're back to a very familiar picture where Manitoba seems to have some control and a nice open looking end.
Halfway. Just clean.
A little bit.
Yep. It's funny how things go too, because we started saying that we thought Brad should play a little open, and he actually did in the first end. And if he hadn't missed both of his rocks, it's very likely he could have forced a single, and that might have set them on a totally different path in this game. And that end didn't work, and since then it's been all Manitoba.
Yep.
Richard Deneau.
Whoa!
Good. Good throw, Rich.
They've been, as you pointed out earlier, Russ, this Manitoba team has been playing these heels so well, not allowing Northern Ontario and Jacobs to get anything going.
They missed one last night, and you know, we get to watch all 4 sheets off and on, and it's the only one I've seen them miss all week. I say that about a lot of the teams here, though. The sliding surface is so good. It's easy to slide with the good deliveries now, pretty close to the broom with all that rotation, all that speed. It appeals a shot that should be made 9 times out of 10.
If you can clean it, clean it.
We're tight. We're closer to tight.
Take a run at it?
You like that or not?
I'll take a run at it, and if you miss it wide, it's, or like if you just peel the one's fine, right?
Yeah, make sure the one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Okay, good throw.
Just the one. Just the one. Fine, Al.
Good shot. Good.
They were hoping to chip the one in the top 12, but not going to take any risks. They're going to keep the weight up and make sure they get the one guard off. Alan Liburn playing so well in this game.
Yeah.
After 6, he was 92%, and that's where the big switch starts. As I mentioned, the front end for Northern Ontario are putting the rocks out there, but then they're just all removed so beautifully by Alan and Rob.
It's hard too, isn't it, Linda? You look at the Northern Ont front end, 93%, and it's frustrating when you're playing that well, and you just, you know, you're so far down on the scoreboard.
Let it curl a little bit if you can.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Scott.
Okay. Good.
Yep. Clean. Good throw. Good swing, guys.
Shot, big man.
Goes out.
So much less taxing on Manitoba too. You heard the front end for Northern Ont saying, "I wish we didn't just once have to sweep one coast to coast." Just peels, even I could sweep those.
I like this if you know the weight. I mean,
Who knows? We don't know. Right there, each.
I'll tell you what. You look at the physical stature of this Northern Ontario team. They're built for brushing. They spend a lot of time in the gym. They do have a personal trainer that has looked at the mechanics, the biomechanics of brushing, and they do a lot of their exercises specifically for leg strength and for brushing.
We talked about it. They have to take an unstable position to get the pressure down on the brush head. They heat the ice 1.5 to 2 degrees, and that takes the rock 6 to 7 feet further. And all of that means you have to be very strong and able to stay in that unstable position with the brush head right under your head. Takes a lot of strength.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Room. Lots of room.
Cut throw. Sit.
Pretty good.
My rocks are nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my rocks hook.
Yeah.
My rocks hook hard.
I think that 8 that EJ's throwing is doing that too.
Yeah, it is.
It's curling nice. Yeah. Even
So
on
in
that
our
freeze, I threw it.
pre-tournament interviews, I asked Brad about their work in the gym.
We try to, have well-rounded physique as far as, right from head to toe. But the upper body, certainly for sweeping, you'll be able to drag a rock a lot further, I think. And obviously later in the week where guys might be sore, our muscles are used to it and they're trained appropriately, so it benefits us.
Do you have a point in that last comment?
Oh, definitely. The stamina of the week. But also when I was talking about that unstable position, remember how we've seen some people falling this year? Happened a lot at the Scotties. It's because they're in that position to try and get the pressure. If you have a very strong core, it actually helps you maintain that stability even in that position. So all of it is important.
I think it's just great to see, too. We've always had that stereotypical curler that we've thought of, and they've changed the rules.
Same turn. Freeze is fine.
Yep. Hard. 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 Hard, guys. Hard.
Oh, smart call. Good shot.
That's good.
I think same race, Brad.
Same. Yeah.
Just
hair less weight. Yep.
A little less, Brad.
A little less weight.
A little bit early.
Hard.
Don't need to for weight.
Hard.
Hard line.
Hard.
Hard line.
Room now.
Room.
Brad Jacobs in his last.
Whoa.
The other part of it that you heard them talking about is Brad is a little confused because EJ's rocks are going that much straighter. He's throwing them a little too hard. He's not getting the bend. And so Brad's still questioning where to put the broom. And you're trying to draw around a rock top 12 and make sure you bury it. It's really tough.
But if you're Northern Ontario,
Brad,
Russ, I mean, you've seen them score every time they've had the brick.
Tight.
A deuce, and 3 to hold them to 1 now and get it back. You have to be happy with that. That's success for you.
Well, it is, but it's pretty late success because that'll put you 2 points down. Sorry, if you hold them 1 or 4 points down, you have to get your deuce to get it to 2 in the 8th. That's you're running out of ends.
I said yeah too.
Yeah, you're into steal mode, and we see how difficult it is to get any rocks out in front with this great peeling team from Manitoba.
Key line, guys.
Whatever Dad said has worked for Rob Fowler. Dad Brian
Weight's good.
is the coach of the team.
Weight's good.
Looks heavy.
Right after
Weight's
day
good.
1,
Easy.
said, you got to settle down, son.
Easy. Easy. Easy.
Weight's good.
Clean.
Should be good.
Clean it. Clean it. Clean it all the way to the 4 foot. Robbie.
And all the way to the 4 foot for a single. Manitoba extends their lead.
Thank you, Robbie.
MLS on TSN is back. We're kicking off the season with an all-Canadian matchup. Vancouver Whitecaps open their season at home against the newest Canadian team, Montreal Impact. Live coverage begins Saturday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TSN and TSN Mobile TV. 45,000 the other night in Toronto to see Toronto FC play the LA Galaxy and David Beckham in a 2-2 tie. That was for the Champions League. They'll play the second leg of the home and home in a week's time. Welcome back to Saskatoon. Our continuing coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier. Manitoba will wind up their round robin play with this game. They'll be idle tonight. Looking good for the playoffs. Leading 8-4. Northern Ontario has the last rock, playing the Redstones here in 8.
Line's good.
It's desperate times now, and to get the at least 2 that they want on the board, 2 corner guards are going up.
No, never.
2 perfect rocks in the rings by Derek, too. I love that positioning where you can't really freeze because they're so close together.
Alberta keeping an eye on the Manitoba game, of course. Alberta, should they lose a game down the stretch, if Manitoba goes on to win, they would fall out of the number 2 position, playing Nova Scotia and Jamie Murphy out of Halifax. And that, he's got the catcher for the single point, 6-3 Alberta. And a reminder, Alberta, Ontario is our final round robin draw feature tonight when we join you at 7:30 Eastern from here in Saskatoon. Ryan Harnden.
Do you need me? Right here.
They were trying to bring it closer, and then he backed off to give it more angle to see if it was tougher to leave a double that way.
Yeah, make sure the one. Oh! Whoa, Derek.
Yep!
Whoa!
Oh, yep!
Whoa!
Yep!
Yep!
Hard, 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 hard.
Oh, and it'll spill in
Great
to
shot.
sit 3.
Good boy.
Shot, Richie.
Yeah.
One of those days for Northern Ontario.
We tap the yellow over that
mentioned
way.
it.
Yeah.
Richard Deneau has
You gotta throw almost
into the Brier
half.
before.
Like to get these moving.
Harry Burtnick.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
There's great quality on this team.
Why don't we tap it right beside the other yellow? Tap it into this side.
But even the likes of Alan Liburn at third and Derek Samagalski, who are in their first appearances, I mean, they haven't been phased at all, have they?
Further back
Very
here.
solid.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It helps to come from such a strong province too, Vic. You play so many spiels in your own region, and you're playing the Stoutons and the McEwens, and you can learn a lot in a hurry when you play these top teams time and time again.
Back 8, back 12.
Clean, yep.
Back line.
Whoa. Oh, off.
Back line.
Yep. Hard. Got a goal. We're on the nose now.
And trying to do almost the impossible if you're Northern Ontario, trying to generate offense in the house.
Yeah, it is really difficult, and then you're playing a team that has a point advantage by 4, so they don't even mind theirs blasting out of there. So you chip this one out off the yellow. As long as rocks go away, Manitoba's very happy.
Yep. Hard! Whoa, yep!
Alan Liburn.
Hard, Robbie.
And it'll spill.
Yeah.
They get rid of one, and the shooter sticks around, so still sitting 3 Manitoba without last rock.
Come on.
Shot, big man.
Shot.
Back 8-ish, right here.
A wee bit better situation than the previous time.
If I do that, I'm going to have to roll a bit, then he'll just nose it.
Yeah. Hopefully split that just a hair.
Yeah.
Back 12 weight.
That's a call. Just hit it almost dead on. Move it back about 2 feet and try to split them absolutely the same distance from the tee line. Set up a bit of a wall.
Good weight. Back 8, back 12.
Clean.
No. Whoa, boys.
Clean.
Back 8.
Whoa, boys.
Back 12.
Whoa.
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 Clean.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
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 Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
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 The World Junior Curling Championships are underway in Östersund, Sweden, and the Canadian men from Edmonton, Brendan Bottcher, wins twice on the final day of round robin. He's 8-1, and so he will play Sweden in the 1-2 game. A little more complicated for Jocelyn Peterman out of Red Deer. She loses to Sweden, so there's a 5-way tie for second place.
Whoa! Colonel. Okay.
Scotland finishing first, Czech Republic second, and so Canada will play Russia in a tiebreaker for the third position.
Well, step 1 was accomplished for Northern Ontario. They now have a little wall built up. It was a nice pick by Manitoba.
We were hoping to get that one of those on the way by and take away this little wall. This is the best chance they've had in a long time to create a mistake out of Manitoba.
Line's good. Line's good. Come on.
Come on, boys.
And just when that little wall gets built.
Go, boys. Go, 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 go. Go, boys. Go, 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 go. Keep going, keep going, keep
The
going.
rock is light.
Stop. He's probably the same weight.
Just a hair over half and get them both.
Make sure of the one anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure of the one, but they'd love to get that inside yellow one.
What a mess. But BC is sitting 1. That's the one at the top of the button. Second shot appears to be yellow. New Brunswick on the tee line. Final stone on the way from Terry Odishaw, reminding you again, BC at 5 losses must win to keep any chance alive. One it is. Kevin Folk having a look. Want to put a stick to it? And they've agreed that it is 1 for New Brunswick.
Good. Fine, Robbie.
Shot now. Just slightly.
Well, you can just tap his hair.
Hard because it's falls there, eh? I almost have to throw back it off the nose almost.
That's getting a little scary.
Yeah, no kidding.
Why?
No, I guess.
Yeah. Just slightly on this side. Same ice. Okay. Should be good.
Well, sometimes the numbers do tell a story, huh?
Well, they certainly do in this game. The two skips came in only 2 percentage points apart, but look at the difference in this game. Rob Fowler, 90% on those hits. And come playoff time, if Manitoba's in those games, the opposition are going to have to watch out for that hitting ability of this skip.
The player numbers brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Pretty close.
T line.
Where?
T. Back 4.
Whoa, for
Just
line.
T.
Wall line.
T-line.
Wow.
Wall line. No
Back
bounce.
4.
Back 4. Back 8.
It's like a ton.
Why are we touching it?
Don't want to separate this opening here. A chance for Rob to punch it out.
And nestles up and on the corner, and I don't know if he shot stone pretty close. To my eye, it looks like it's still Manitoba. Do you like, Russ, the game plan here? You know, you said earlier about this Manitoba team and the way they've gotten rid of the guards, brought the game into the house and gone from there. Would that strategy, looking ahead to the playoffs, and I'm assuming here that Manitoba will win and qualify, do you like that strategy against the other potential playoff teams?
Well, the only reason Rob's doing it is because he has a big lead, and it's, yes, absolutely, it's a perfect strategy. It's the way to play the sport. Eliminate the corners, draw the play into the rings, and use your upweight ability to get those doubles, and that's worked absolutely to perfection so far this afternoon.
That ability to get that play in the rings is one of the reasons people still throw out different rules about maybe not hitting those lead rocks, because the person trying to score with hammer, like Brad, only gets the one chance to play the corner before the other team can start peeling. And we see the ability of these teams to make the rocks go away so quickly.
This is a really interesting one. I don't think Rob can get this out. It's going to go yellow, yellow, catch on the second yellow, and if it comes across the second yellow, it'll go to that outside yellow. But I don't think he'll get out of the rings. But if he hits it dead on, the one at the top of the 8-foot, and it will stay, and you'll sit 2 points here, forcing Northern Ont again.
And sitting 2 at an angle where they can't make the shot.
Whoa! Whoa, guys! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's good. Nice shot, Rob.
Perfect.
Really
Perfect
good.
spot. Yeah.
Great awareness. A lot of young guys have tried to find a way to hammer that out of there. All he had to do was hit and stay. Great shot.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was the key. Was to beat it too. Yeah. Don't try and
Play it really thin. Try to make it.
What? You didn't want to play it?
Well, look at the angle.
Did they
First
wanna
of all,
play
the
that?
angle's difficult to make a double, and then you have to get the yellow one by the other red. So you have to watch the angle you hit it at. Really tough.
But
What do you want to do?
where you are in the game,
I like the thin.
does this
Try to make
require
it. I think we have
the
to.
Yeah, it probably does, Vic.
desperation?
Yeah, it probably does. You hate to say it. You hit and stay your 3 down. You know, you're still got a chance. A double steal, a single steal, but in all intents and
call a
purposes,
timeout?
the way Manitoba's playing,
We have almost
I bet they try it.
Timeout's been called.
I think we gotta try it.
The other thing is we just play for 1 and try to play 2 solid ends. We'd have to
Still 3 points.
steal 3 points in 2 ends.
I think we go for it.
I just don't think the shot is like there.
It is there.
It's there.
Why isn't it there?
Wow, jeez. Huh?
Yeah, you can. I think we gotta go for it. I think we do.
You think we can stick this?
I think we can.
We don't need to throw a bomb or anything. I think
No, we're
just
not throwing a bomb.
Control.
But you gotta make sure that
like
one goes far
normal
enough.
because you got to move this enough and you
Yeah.
got to barely hit it.
Like
Normal?
normal
You
read.
gotta throw normal.
Yeah.
We're basically playing to miss
The way
that,
things
eh?
are going, yeah.
Want to go for it, guys?
I think so. You know, it's gonna be hard to steal 3 and 2 ends.
Oh, I know.
How much you throwing?
Normal?
Okay. Should curl here a bit.
Yeah.
Good ice condition. Somebody as good as Brad Jacobs. Linda, you make this 2 times out of 100?
Not very many. No, the angle's difficult enough without trying to figure out how to keep the 2 reds in a position where they both score. This is tough.
I also didn't think he could get 2 in the 10th inning against Ontario, and he did. So.
That's true.
But scoreboard related, and certainly the ability of the Manitoba team, I think, has dictated this call.
Final stone down by 4 here in 8. Brad Jacobs playing a shot almost as if he has to miss it. Oh, and he missed everything. And the shakes, and it's over. Manitoba will win it. Make the final 10-4. And Manitoba will wind up round robin.
Good game. Good luck. Thanks.
8-3, Northern Ontario. Fall now to 5-5. And for Brad Jacobs, he's got 1 game remaining. It's tonight against Saskatchewan.
Hey, everybody back home. Brandon.
Manitoba's into the playoffs. They're done. And we will sort it all tonight. Northwest Territories Yukon, if they can win their remaining game against BC, there would be no tiebreaker. And we'll check in on BC. And they are in that must-win situation. That's when we come back to Saskatoon. Time now for the M&M Meat Shops Final End Challenge. Right after the games, go to finalend.ca and enter the secret word for a chance to win a trip for two to the 2013 World Junior Curling Championship in Sochi, Russia. The first 100 entries will have a chance to win a $50 M&M gift card, and all participants will get an M&M discount. We'll give you that secret word before we leave the air on this Thursday afternoon. So Manitoba has clinched a playoff spot.
Everybody back home, Brandon.
Will it be 1-2 game or 3-4 game? And here is the game story, Linda.
It didn't start well for Brad Jacobs. He missed his 2 shots in the first hand. That gave Manitoba 2, but then it was Manitoba limiting the scoring. Rob Fowler doubles in 4, 5, and 6. Ended up at 88%. A wonderful game for Manitoba.
The game story brought to you by M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. We have another final, and it's on sheet D, and Alberta has picked up the win. Make the final 8-3, so Alberta goes to 8-2, and Jamie Murphy, in his debut at the Brier out of CFB Halifax, finishes his round-robin play at 4-7. So here's what we know. Ontario and Glenn Howard, 9-1. Alberta's 8-2. Manitoba is done at 8-3. Now tonight, of course, our featured game is Ontario against Alberta. If Alberta should lose, they would go to 8-3. Manitoba would take second place by virtue of that win last night. If Alberta does win the game, they would play in that 1-2 game. And of course, the Northwest Territories Yukon tonight will be on the ice. And could it be that Jamie Cooey from Yellowknife could be in the Final Four? Could it be that he may play his brother in the 3-4 game? That possibility exists. Hopefully. So now we're going to turn our attention to BC and New Brunswick as they play in a 5-5 tie, and they're playing the 9th. And this is a must-win for the team from Vernon and Kelowna. Jim Cotter and the boys come in with 5 losses. They cannot afford a 6th.
Yep.
That takes them out.
Please. Yeah. Hard. Yep.
I think these two teams maybe epitomize the problem that I've seen with some of the teams at this year's Brier, and that is you let it get too complicated. And how many times we have to say that, but we've glanced over at many ends involving New Brunswick in particular, where it's almost like you need a ramp to get another rock in the house.
When Terry went to those last rock last night, it was the 16th stone that was in play. And unbelievable.
I do like rocks in play, but I think sometimes you let it get kind of crazy and you have no shot left.
He almost gave up a problem there. Folk hitting too solid, setting up a double. They could have split the rings with the Reds and had a chance to score their deuce. Great chance for New Brunswick to force BC to a single here.
Whoa! Whoa!
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if I like that much, though. If we miss that at all, it's plug-in, right? Thinking that's probably our better off.
Then he's just jam and he'll sit too.
Yeah, I guess that's real thin, isn't it?
I don't mind this, just like a redirect and sit there. Throw like regular at it. Take
Now
care.
those are loyal fans wearing the flag, not just waving the flag.
No. Just like a redirect. No.
You want me to
just
make
like a
what?
redirect. Get your real fan.
You want me to sew what?
Regular there. Should move up.
Not even sure the shot's makeable. They're trying to get past the top yellow on the right-hand side and hit the shot rock as thin as possible. Otherwise, it will go onto the red. Might be able to tick the top yellow and redirect it past the red, but otherwise the shot rock's going back onto the red one for sure. The only way to sit 2, though.
I thought they actually might play a quiet shot and just accept that with this one they may only sit 1 but still have a chance for the deuce. Obviously Jim playing well. We've just come to this game 92%.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Yes. Yep.
Just redirected.
Stuffed it at the back.
Stay on
Stick
it.
around.
Oh, I wouldn't even move. No? No?
And I hate to leave the opposition a shot where they'll actually sit top 4. And now you're trying to figure out how you're going to score, how you get in there. Even if you draw, it's really closing it down, making it look pretty ugly from the hack. Not the position Jim wanted to be in at this stage of the game with those big numbers. 7 of the 8 players actually have very good numbers. Only the second for New Brunswick is low.
Whoa. More. Whoa. Down. More. Down. Hard. Hard. Right up. Oh boy. Man, it just got slippery, eh? Did you notice that? It just got slippery.
Like bumperish.
Yep.
There.
Could play a straight draw here, and with that one for backing. So Skip's preference.
Bumper.
It's another one of those moments where we talk about what you want to be, because you could certainly make a very easy hit and still give up one. So I guess it depends how passionate you are about scoring.
Yeah, it'd be a simple double, wouldn't it, to guarantee a steal of one.
His 3rd Brier appearance, Jim Cotter.
Whoa. That's clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let him move.
Last year went 4-7 in London.
Whoa. Go off.
Ooh, this is going to be the steal of one, I think. Where's it going to roll?
Whoa.
Could roll across the top.
Has to hit it first. Wow.
And
that
doesn't
was
come
close.
back. Does not come back. And it's a steal of 1 for New Brunswick. It's a must win for BC. They can't afford a 6th loss.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Roll Up the Rim to Win. It's time for Tim's.
It's that time for the M&M Meat Shop's Final End Challenge, and the secret word is ribs. After the game, go to finalend.ca, enter that secret word, ribs, for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see the 2013 World Junior Curling Championship in Sochi, Russia. Steal of 1, New Brunswick. They lead 6-5. BC will have the last rock coming home here in 10, down by 1. And for Jim Cotter
really good.
and his team from Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs, they have to win this game.
The other one.
A 6th loss will eliminate them, and they'll still have 1 game to play this evening. And interestingly enough, it'll be against the team from Whitehorse, the Northwest Territories Yukon.
Well, we've heard some comments about the ice and also noticing it's a little straight. The first rock played by New Brunswick to the middle, never got to the middle. They did tap it up so that they could have one in a better position, and the corner guard actually didn't move all that much as well. The advantage of the little bit straighter ice is to the team trying to defend, in my opinion, so that would be New Brunswick.
Getting tight.
Jim was thinking of playing the double, but that would have set up a red double, and then your chance for a deuce is just about gone. So this is a smarter call.
Lots of time to worry about that.
Okay, Rick.
Just roll to the center.
Way to roll then.
The other option is to guard ours.
Or freeze.
Yeah. Roll to a guard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I was going to say about this particular 10th end situation is knowing these teams and the rocks in play, I think we could have a really interesting end. Not maybe a traditional end where you see somebody trying to defend it and playing lots of hits. Because they actually talked about trying to stick that somewhere and leave it as a guard.
That hit the boards.
Really?
Now the BC Stone is shot rock after that play.
Tight.
Whoa, guys, it's hot. We need roll a bit. Yep. 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 Good, good, good. Spot.
And the good news for New Brunswick is if they have to make a play in that back one, it's too far back. The Cotter would have loved his team to have that in front of the tee line. At this point in time, they're going to keep peeling.
It's interesting how they keep peeling and rearranging the rocks. Now that one is shot rock.
That was a lucky break that time.
Certainly was.
That works.
A disappointing week for Newfoundland and Labrador as well as Prince Edward Island.
Yep.
Brad Goujiou comes through with a win. Make the final 10-5. Brad Goujiou, his record is now 4-6. Prince Edward Island and Mike Goody from Charlottetown 3-8.
Nice, good.
Will be his final
More
standing.
weight there, Jimmy. Whoa, then, whoa. Just clean it.
Tight, real tight. Maybe in.
Newfoundland Labrador will close against Quebec this evening.
Boy, a lucky break on that peel by Scott Jones, and a little deep from Ty, and a chance to make the double here. And now how do you get your two?
Back to that, trying to generate the points in the rings using opposition rocks as guards, which is not the preferred way, of course.
Yep.
Solid Brier for Andy McCann, his first time as a player here.
Wow.
Now that stuff at the back, could that be the mistake that possibly gives BC their two?
Well, it's shot rock, and it's also the yellow one out in front, just in partly the 12-foot is guarding it.
It looked like it was trying to come up. You like coming in and sitting two right now, Swat? You like coming in and sitting two right now?
Just back tee?
Yeah, my first thought was going to see if we can hit roll for two, but.
Does hitting the middle one do us any good, Jimmy?
You could roll a bit.
You're leaving on a pretty short run.
Well, it hasn't been the best of weeks for Brad Goujiou, the 2006 gold medal winner with Ryan Fry moving up to the 3rd position, and a new front end in Adam Casey and Jeff Walker out of the Ballyhaley. But always time to sign autographs. Both he and Fry have given their jerseys and jackets to.
You like that?
Want to call time, or
do you want to?
Sure.
Great ambassador for the game, Brad Gushue.
They're going to take a timeout. There was a discussion about drawing and then another one about hitting and trying to move that one off the center line.
Get that one, might not be second shot.
Rock's not hurting us right now, I don't think, eh? We got to find a good spot for another one. Right. Here? Yeah, like that or here, but this is dangerous.
It's a pretty short run if we get one in there, right?
Even if we only get 3rd shot, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
As long as we get another rock.
Yeah, this was our first thought.
Yeah, I think just aim for the
Okay, I like that.
Get it partial around.
Right here?
Not
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, you just leave him a
No, I-
3-foot run back, right?
Yeah, but that's
Well, rolling there is same thing, right? I can get another one in.
So much attention this week on Rick Folk, of course, coming back to Saskatchewan. The last Saskatchewan winner back in 1980.
And he played at a time when the play was more defensive, but you know Rick playing 10 would go to the draw if he needed to score. That would be his go-to shot, and that's the one he wants them to play.
And it's kind of old school thinking, but I think absolutely correct in this case. Keep them separated. You go around that corner guard, or you try to hit, set up a double. Terry Odishaw makes the double. Your chances are gone. So at this point in time, you can sit 2.
And it'll be his son, Kevin Folk, trying to wrap it around and bring it in for second shot.
The room, back
Lots of room.
Whoa.
This one has to curl first.
Should ever.
Ty
No
Griffith,
line.
Rick
Whoa.
Sawatsky on the brush.
Whoa, back here,
Back
guys.
house, guys.
Yep. Hard.
Find the hole.
Hard, guys, hard.
Does
hard,
that.
hard.
And now where does
Yep,
it go?
Keep her going.
And they'll take it to the back. 8 foot to sit the 2.
Oh, nicely done. That took a long time to curl.
Yeah, then we're just going to get into a little war. I don't mind tapping this out. He's sitting right there. He's got to play a pretty delicate shot, right?
You're trying to leave the double?
Well, if we start getting them up high enough, I'll have a shot at it.
Okay.
Just tap it through, Andy.
Kind of wait.
Just hack. Not even. Yeah.
Terry playing to his strength. He wants to throw a
It's only got to
bullet down there and try to make a double. So by
Okay.
tapping this out, the rock will be that much higher. Then when BC hits it, there will be a double.
Okay.
Unless they roll somewhere.
Well, no. He wants to sit there. He wants to kind of line up the double eventually.
It is quite a different scenario. Often when you get into a position where you don't have hammer and the other team is already sitting 2, you start to think differently about stealing, about maybe even putting a guard up. But there are those yellow stones that are still usable top house.
Yeah, the one that Scott Jones got lucky on might be the savior for New Brunswick.
Whoa.
Stay with it, Grant.
Hard, Grant.
Hard, Grant. Hard.
Well, he does the first job, and that's push it out the back, and then the shooter rolls under cover. 4-shot stone, center line, back 8.
Like this?
Do we do that or do we hit?
Play the double.
I'm thinking the.
Which one do you
The
like?
hit.
What do you like?
I don't mind the hit. I don't mind the hit.
Okay.
We freeze, he freezes, right?
Yeah. Okay. Just catch it, roll it here.
Okay.
Reg?
Reg?
Yeah.
Even if you don't make the double, you're second, third.
Where they're playing big weight and very straight.
Big. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
No.
Off. Off.
No.
Yep.
No. Yep.
Yes.
Whoa.
He got it. Rolls to sit for third shot.
That was a nice shot.
Just nose. Just off nose.
Yeah.
We're hoping to make the double the other way and roll the
Yeah.
red one towards the right-hand yellow.
It's running very straight for them.
Look at the broom here for this outturn. Terry's basically missed it at this point. It almost has to back up. It's just the way he throws it. But this is the shot he wanted all along, was to throw a hit.
Just his second Brier for Terry Odishaw. First was back in 1998. Been an alternate a number of times. Played with you, Russ, in 2000, 2002.
Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa.
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 Atta boy.
Nice shot.
You know, we said this week he hasn't been far off. I mean, he's lost a couple of very close games, New Brunswick. And it wasn't until yesterday he lost his sixth, or he was close to being still in it.
I think the impressive part for me was usually New Brunswick struggles big time out of the gate, and they did lose their first three, but it was Alberta, Ontario, Manitoba, three of the best teams in the event, three that have qualified, and they all went down the last shot. So even though it was 0-3, it was an impressive start.
I'm sorry, it was this morning when he lost his sixth
buried
to the Northwest Territories Yukon, and
should run a bit and then finish.
Jamie Cooey of Yellowknife.
What are you looking for? About 90?
Yeah.
You probably won't even mind, Linda, if this is back 4, back 8. You have to get it buried. Force Terry to throw the draw.
I was thinking that Rick Folk maybe would have liked to have said a couple of shots in a row to them. That's the one thing as a coach that's hard. He made one suggestion, and then he maybe would have had a bit of input on that hit that was just played. Now you are using opposition rocks and needing to bury.
Wait
Wait
for
for
Switch for anything.
Back 4.
Switch for anything, guys. Back here.
Looking for more curl, moving Rick to the closer position.
Work it over. Hard, guys.
Yep.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
All you got.
Real hard, guys.
Yep.
As far as it goes. Hard, guys. Go, go, go. Keep her going. Keep her going. Keep her going.
Sweet.
Shot there, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Took its time, eh?
Yeah, sure did.
Should have finished nice at the end, though.
At half a rock. Mid 4.
What do you want to do for weight? What kind of weight?
We threw hack weight before, didn't we? Down this spot. Right
Board.
about there.
This is a big decision.
Curled up the
Half a
nose,
rock exposed. Do you play
Yeah.
to move it or just
Trying to
play
think
to
what
it?
end.
Long time ago. Be an even end.
No.
Pretty sure that's what happened.
Is that what we're doing?
Rick Folk would freeze to the face of it.
You would.
I think we threw control at it too. So real soft board.
Board looks good here.
Yeah.
Nice board.
Could play the run back.
Real soft
Terry just
board,
made a
guys.
double in that spot, hit it dead on, basically. So.
Like it?
I like it.
And that's his shot. He's made a few of these this week, too, though.
He sure has.
This is one of these that you get it out on the line with the extra weight, it will not come back. If you're a little soft, it crosses the line early, the sweepers will have trouble holding it.
The final stone for New Brunswick.
Whoa. Whoa.
Pretty full board.
And in the can, Scott Jones.
Whoa. Whoa.
They lead by one.
Whoa. Whoa.
Boy, Terry.
Good
Nicely
throw.
done. So it'll be the draw with a final rock for BC for a single to force an extra. And he needs a good chunk of the 8 foot.
Hair wider path.
Yeah.
Wider path.
Yeah.
It'll slide better for you.
Okay.
Good end for New Brunswick. They got the break on the way the rocks came off on the peels, but that does happen when you have a few rocks around.
Just a hair less then?
Yeah, I got 85 on your first one.
Okay.
A couple feet.
In a game that BC must win, they need to get the 8-foot here to go an extra. Ty Griffith, Rick Sawatsky. Here comes Kevin Pope. They got to drag it to the 8 to go an extra.
Come on, guys.
Get it to the 8. No. And that will eliminate BC from the playoffs. Make the final. New Brunswick wins it 7-5. British Columbia now falls to 4-6. New Brunswick finishes their round robin at 5-6. And so here we go tonight. One round robin draw remaining. And it'll be Ontario and Alberta in our featured game. The Northwest Territories, who are they going to play? You got it. BC will try and play spoiler. Northern Ontario will be on the ice too at 5 losses. They're going to need some help. Northern Ontario will close against Saskatchewan.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies. By Scotties, proud supporter of women's curling for over 30 years. And by Capital One, what's in your wallet?
So this is our featured game tonight. The two teams we expected to challenge for the 1-2 page playoff. Glenn Howard is already in that game. Kevin Cooey of Alberta, if he wins, he will get the first position. If he should lose the game, he would drop down into the 3-4 spot, and Manitoba would be in that 1-2 game. It all winds up tonight. Tim Hortons Brier on Canada's sports leader, TSN. Off the Record is next.